Good evening and welcome to the 13th session of the Wellness series. My name is Sweetie Bantia and I'm part of the Central Talent team. I hope I'm audible. If one of the participants could please confirm in the chat window. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, so welcome to everyone from India office, pretty obviously, and to our colleagues from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Mauritius offices. Today, we've invited Mr. Karan Kakkar to talk about strengthening immunity through nutrition. We've had multiple sessions on emotional well-being, on physical well-being, on financial well-being, and we thought that it's time to focus on how to build your immunity with the advent of monsoons and the change in the season and the climate. And hence, we thought that we should invite someone to talk about how to strengthen our immunity. So, Mr. Karan Kakkad is the founder of Reverse Factor. It's a health tech company that supports people to combat lifestyle diseases through programs, that drive healthy living. He's an international nutrigenomist and a disease reversal expert. He specializes in holistic nutrition. In addition, he's also associated with American Fitness Professionals and Associates. Based on his extensive research, Mr. Kakkar and his organization strongly believe that the right lifestyle can help people get fit and healthy. A couple of instructions and a couple of call outs before I hand it over to Karan to take the call ahead is most of you who've been attending our calls will know these basic things, but just in case you're attending it for the first time, please put in your comments in the chat box. There is a chat box, and you can use that as frequently as you want to. Apart from that, please post your questions as and when we're going through the session. If there are any questions that you have, please post them in the Q&A section and we will take them up at the end of the call. We've put across, say, around 10 to 15 minutes to take as many Q&As as possible. So that's on the Q&A. Also, we've started a polling feature in all our WebEx sessions. So a request for each of you who is on the call to please share your feedback in the polling section after the session at the end of the call before you log off. With those, quick instructions and healthy participation of say around 350 plus people, I will hand it over to Karan to lead the call.
Great. Thank you so much. Very good evening to everyone who is here. And it is indeed a pleasure to be in front of each and every one of you and to share with you what we feel is going to not just help you during next couple of months of COVID times, but is going to help you lifelong in terms of creating good health and immunity. Now, one thing which is very important for each and every one of us is that whoever is attending this, okay, I believe there are more than 350 people who are attending this, and one of the most important thing for all of us is that when we are in our 60, 70 and 80 years, we should be fit, fine, healthy. I mean, there is nothing more important than the fact that we are fit, fine, healthy even when we are in our 70s and 80s or even 90s, okay? And the only way that is going to be possible is if we focus on our immune system. Our immune system is our best friend, and our immune system is something that is going to help us not just live long but live quality of life, which is very important, okay? And I would also touch, apart from building immunity, I'm also going to touch upon issues which have become an epidemic these days. Lifestyle diseases, say for example, things like diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, and thyroid issues, fatty liver, kidney issues, overweight. And we all have been told that all these diseases are lifelong disease, that once you start your high blood pressure medicine, you're supposed to take it for lifelong. Once you start your diabetes or cholesterol or thyroid medicines, you are supposed to take it lifelong. That is what we have been told. And I mean, let me share with you that this is the most unfortunate part, and this is one of the biggest myth that we live in, because the fact is that all such diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, thyroid, cholesterol, fatty liver, all of them are not lifelong disease. All of them are lifestyle disease. Okay, and once we make our lifestyle better, once we make our food choices better, we can immediately reverse those diseases. And we have been seeing patients since last 6 7 years, and we have seen people reversing years of diabetes, years of high blood pressure, years of thyroid, cholesterol issues. Their insulin injections have gone off. The reports are coming better. Their doctors are telling them that you don't have diabetes, which you had 2 years back. Right now, how is it that it is possible? Okay, so the second message for all of you, apart from number one, which was immune system, making a good immune system, the second message for all of you is developing good habits. One of the most misleading word in this planet is diet. Nobody should ever do any diets. I mean, how many people did diets 100 years back? Hardly anyone. It is all about habits. It is habits that reverse disease and not diets. Okay, but still so many people run after diets and do crash diets and what not. But what is important is developing good habits, developing immune system, right? So we are going to speak today a lot about on these lines, and I'm sure that next 1.5 years, sorry, next one and a half hour, all of us will be much empowered in terms of right information and right knowledge, because the first step to reverse disease or building good health is right awareness and knowledge. Okay, because once you have that, then you can actually do a lot of things to apply those learnings and create good health. So thank you once again, the entire talent team in Deloitte, for getting this organized. And thank you each and everyone for being a part of this session. I'm sure that all of you are going to enjoy, and all of you are going to take a lot of things out of this session. Great. So with that thought, let us begin today's session. One of the biggest neurologists in the world, who happens to be also a close friend of mine, shared this line, that the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Okay, I mean, never ever, the unhappiness or the cause of unhappiness lies outside you. We never had control over coronavirus. We never had control over the lockdown. But what we had control over was how well can we use this time. What we had full control over was the fact that how are we thinking about this entire situation, right? So it is the our thoughts which is very very important, and this is true for most things in life. It is how we think about it that really determines a lot of things, rather than any external situation. Now let's proceed with this thought. What are we expecting out of today's session, right? So number one is, how do we build immunity for a long term? So this is something that we are going to discuss. What are the foods that are going to help us build immunity? What are those foods that we can start having, which is going to ensure that we build good immune system? Next is, what is the fastest way to build immunity? I mean, there could be 10 ways to build immunity, but we need it now. All right, we need it now. And therefore, what are the fastest way? That is something that we need to understand. Next is 5 things that we should avoid, which can weaken our immune system. Okay, 5 things. I mean, in doing right things are important, but equally important is to avoid things that can weaken the immune system. So that is something that we are going to understand. And last is things that we can do at home, which are going to ensure that we create good health and we build immunity, which is very very important. So we're going to share with you 10 things that you can do from tomorrow, which will ensure that you create good health and good immunity. Okay, lovely. So let us understand what is the immune system. So our immune system is like a self-defense system. So every time anything from outside enters our system, our body can identify it as a foreign material, and then it can activate the immune system, which in turn can kill those viruses, bacteria, or germs or infections. Okay, so our immune system is like a self-defense system, which really helps to protect our own system. Now, immune system can be influenced every single day. Okay, every single. I mean, people think that somebody's immune system is stronger than ours, or our immune system is weaker than somebody else. We need to understand. We need to understand that immune system can be influenced every single day, and that is something which is variable and not constant. Now, how can our immune system change every single day? Depending on two things. Number one is thoughts, and number two is food. So, food and thoughts are two things which can go inside us from the external environment. All right, food and thoughts, two primary things. And both of them, food and thoughts, can actually turn on and turn off health promoting genes, and vice versa in terms of disease promoting genes. So every day, with the help of right thoughts and right food, we can impact our immune system. Number three is immune system can help us, fight small infections like cold, cough, fever, to even larger infections like COVID and influenza, to even cancers. Okay, right now I can see more than 500 people in this group, more than 500 people in this group. And let me tell each and every one of you, right now, there are cancer cells which are present within each and every one of us. But what can stop these cancer cells to multiply? What stops these cancer cells to grow rapidly? It is our immune system which does that, and it is our immune system which is very, very important in terms of ensuring that we don't develop disease as we age. Next, very important, 80 to 85% of our immunity lies in the gut. All right, so gut is very, very important in terms of overall health. And what is gut? So gut is the entire area in your stomach, which comprises of large intestine and small intestine. So that entire area in your stomach is known as the gut, and 80 to 85% of your immunity lies in the gut. This is super important. Next, immunity is one of the key raw material, or the key ingredient to create long-term disease-free life. Okay. Next, so there are two types of immune system. Number one is innate immunity. Now, this is the immunity that you are born with. Okay, this is the immunity where you don't have control over. So, when you were in your mother's womb, was your mother eating right? Whether your delivery was a normal delivery or a C-section delivery. So, all of these have an impact on your immunity, and that is something that you are born with. You can't control that because you're already born with that. Nothing much you can do about it. But the second immunity, the second kind of immunity, is active or adaptive immunity. Now, this is the immunity that can change every single day. All right, that can change every single day depending on your food and your thoughts. So what we are going to discuss is how food can boost our active or adaptive immunity. Next. Now, any food on this planet, any food on this planet can be divided into three broad categories. Number one is animal food, number two is processed food, and number three is plant foods. Animal foods, processed foods, plant foods. There is nothing outside this, right? Any food in this planet is either animal or processed food or plant foods. Now, I want all the participants to just write in the chat box and tell me which one according to you is the best, processed, animal, or plant foods. Okay, so just you can type in the chat box, and you can just mention which one according to you is the best. All right, plant foods. All right, plant. You can just write plant, that should be fine. Plant foods. Okay, plant. All right, so most of you agree that plant foods are the best. Okay, great. So let's understand what science says. Great. So we now understand that, Aniket, thanks, plant foods. Okay. Now, animal food is non-veg and milk, which is animal protein. Okay. Processed, anything that comes in a packet, bhujia, chips, kurkure, cornflakes, biscuits, anything that comes in a packet. And plant foods is on what nature has given us: fruits, vegetables, and beans, legumes, all that is plant foods. Now, scientifically proven that animal foods and processed foods trigger lifestyle disease, whereas plant foods reverses lifestyle disease. Okay. Now, many reasons why plant foods are much better compared to animal and processed foods. But couple of very, very important points why plant foods are better than animal and processed foods are: number one is antioxidants. So number one is antioxidant. What is an antioxidant? Now, if you cut an apple and if you keep it outside, okay, if you cut an apple, you keep it outside, that apple turns brownish or reddish or blackish. Why? Because apple has living cells, so oxygen goes inside, oxidation takes place. Now, any living organism, human being, animals, fruits, vegetables, which has life inside, oxygen goes inside, and we need a lot of antioxidants because the oxidation process also takes place within us. Now, in these three food categories, animal, processed, and plant foods, it is only and only plant foods which are loaded in antioxidants, right? So this is one reason why we should have plant foods compared to animal and processed. And second, and the most important, is fiber. People who eat fiber, they don't gain weight, they don't have diabetes, they don't have heart issues. So the second important ingredient is fiber, which is very, very important. And where do you get your fiber from? Fiber is found only and only in plant foods. Okay. Animal foods, processed foods have negligible or zero fiber. It is only plant foods which are loaded in fiber. Now comes the most important part. Next, we had told you that 80 to 85% of your immunity lies in the gut. Now, there is a diagram in front of all of you where you can see the stomach area where the large intestine and small intestine have been drawn. And so 85% of your immunity lies in that part, lies in the gut, which is in your stomach. Now, there is something known as gut bacteria. All right. So billions of gut bacteria live in these gut. Okay. So now there are approximately more than 550 people now. Within each and every one of us, there is something known as the gut. And there are billions of gut bacteria that live in each and every one of us. Now, what is the food of those gut bacteria? The food of gut bacteria is fiber. Fiber is the food of billions of gut bacteria that live within each and every one of us, which means that when you have banana or papaya or pomegranate, guava, muskmelon, fruits, red, yellow, green capsicum, broccoli, when you have plant foods, not just are you only eating, but your gut bacteria are also eating because those foods have fiber. And compared to that, when you are having chips and biscuits and cornflakes and all of those things, only you are eating and your gut bacteria are not eating because there is no fiber in that food. So the message number one for each and every one of you is that eat plant foods. When I say plant foods, we need to understand that why plant foods. So 85% of your immunity lies in the gut, and your gut bacteria needs fiber, and fiber is found only in natural plant foods. Okay, so if you want to build your immunity, if you want to take care of that 85% which lies in your gut, you need to ensure that your gut bacteria are healthy, and therefore you're eating plant foods. All right, very, very important. Next, another way to look at food is macronutrient or micronutrient. All right, so macronutrient we all know is protein, carbs, and fats. Micronutrient is vitamin, minerals, and something known as phytonutrients, which was discovered 30-40 years back. Now, 95% doctor dietitians focus only on macronutrient, how much protein, how much carb, how much fats, but if you want to live long, if you want to live disease free and create long term good health, we need to ensure that our food has maximum micronutrients. So, from our food, we are getting enough of vitamin, minerals, and phytonutrients. This is very, very important. And where do you get this? Only and only plant foods. Now, what are these phytonutrients? So, phyto means plant, all right? So, phytonutrients are all the natural colors that you get from plant food. So, message number two for each and every one of you is eat more and more natural colors. When you're having red, yellow, green capsicum, carrot, beans, beet, broccoli, purple cabbage, the more colors you eat, the more benefits you get. So that is very, very important. A big study had done, in fact, there was a big study which was done, and that big study, it was shown, all right, that next, the big study had shown that around 74% people, okay, do not eat enough red, okay, around 69% people do not eat enough green, around 83% people do not eat enough white. Now when we speak about white, okay, you can see in front of you there are things like EGCG, all right, there are things like EGCG, or there's something known as allicin, ALLICIN, allicin written in front of you. Now these are those compounds which are found in plant foods which can reverse disease. So for example, allicin is a compound which is found in garlic, and allicin has been found to be excellent in terms of anti-cancer. Allicin is excellent for fatty liver. Allicin works wonders for high cholesterol. So let's not get into the technical names, but the message is that we need to eat more and more colors so that we get those benefits. Gargi, if you can just go back once, I want to see the green thing. Right. If you see the green, the last word which is there is sulforaphane. Now, sulforaphane is a compound which is found in green leafy vegetables, which is found in broccoli, which is very good for diabetes, very good for fatty liver, very, very good for gut bacteria. So when you eat more and more colors, you get all of these compounds, which are very, very good in terms of immunity and good health. Next. So around 80% people do not eat enough yellow and orange. Around 76% people do not eat enough purple and blue. Now I'm going to tell you, a real life example. Okay, a real life example from which all of you can really learn. Okay, so on a normal day, I meet around 18 to 20 new patients every single day who have different forms of lifestyle diseases. And one thing that I ask them is, on a normal day, what do you eat from morning to evening? Okay, and 90% people, okay, 90% people answer by saying that morning, when they get up, they have, biscuits and tea. Then in breakfast, they have something like, poha or some South Indian, or upma or something like that, and or toast or something like that. Then the lunch, they have normal homemade food. Evening, they again have biscuits and tea, and dinner is again homemade food. So if you just remove their lunch and dinner for a second and you keep it aside, on a normal day, apart from lunch and dinner, people who are eating morning tea, biscuit, and then breads and poha in nashta, in breakfast, and evening is milk and tea. For someone who is eating like this on every single day apart from lunch and dinner, so apart from lunch and dinner, how much fiber are they eating? How many phytonutrients are they eating? How many plant foods are they eating? How many vitamin and minerals are going inside them through food every single day? And the answer is negligible. All right. And when you do this every single day, you invite disease, you weaken your immune system, you weaken your gut bacteria. All right. So now you can understand that why eating plant foods apart from your, so lunch and dinner is normal homemade food, but apart from your lunch and dinner, what are you eating? That is very, very important, and 90% plus people do not focus there. I'm so glad, and thanks to Deloitte for getting this done, because most people who are attending this session are below 40. And this is the right time that you make right changes, because most people we meet are above 40, 45, and with years of blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, fatty liver. And when I meet them, the only thing I tell myself is, why? Why did they not take care of their own health, say 10-15 years back? Why did they had to wait for their health to deteriorate so much and then come to us, right? So this is the right age to each and every one of you. Do the right things, things that are good for you. I'm telling you, I am 34 years old. I'm no older than you guys, okay? But last 6-7 years, I am seeing n number of patients, and when we see them becoming better, okay, one thing that we realize is that all they did is that they changed their habits. Trust me, going out, enjoying life, having fun is perfectly fine, but focus on your habits. It is your habits that will reverse disease or create good health or build immunity. Once your habits become bad, then getting back is going to be a big challenge if you don't do it now. Okay, great. So next, let's proceed. The real cause of low immunity by now you understand is micronutrient malnutrition. What is micronutrient malnutrition? When through plant foods, when you're not eating enough micronutrient, which is vitamin, minerals, phytonutrients, you are becoming micronutrient malnutrient, okay? And that is the real cause of low immunity. For example, zinc, selenium, copper, folic acid, vitamin C, all of these are very, very important for building good immune system. And where do you find these things? Only and only in plant foods. Very important. Next, one is pH scale. So 0 to 14 is the scale. 7 is neutral. Okay, 7 to 14 is alkaline. 0 to 7 is acidic. All right, and I mean, all of you can just type in the chat box, according to you, which one is good, being alkaline or being acidic? Which one you feel interact? Come on, just write alkaline AL or acidic AC. Just write AL or AC. Which one you feel is good, alkaline or acidic? I mean, we can either be one of the two, alkaline or acidic. Now, scientifically proven, all right, thank you so much. Scientifically proven that we need to be alkaline in order to create good health. Scientifically proven cancer cells cannot grow when the body is alkaline. Cancer cells only grows when the system is acidic in nature, all right? So it is very important for all of us to be alkaline and not acidic. Now, blood pH is around 7.35 to 7.45, slightly alkaline. So body tends to be on the alkaline side. Milk has a pH of around 6, which is acidic in nature. All right. One of the worst foods on this planet is cold drink or soft drinks or aerated drinks, pH 2 to 3. All right. pH 2 to 3, which is super acidic, not a good idea. All right, now again, once in a while, birthdays, anniversaries, I don't mind, but when you have this on a weekly basis, 3-4 drinks, weekly basis, you are going to invite more disease, today and tomorrow. Okay, so something that should be done very, very rarely is soft drinks, but on a day-to-day basis, we need to eat more plant foods, and when we eat more plant foods, we are more alkaline in nature. All right, so when you have carrots and beans, so plant foods in general are highly alkaline in nature. So that is something that another reason why we should eat more and more plant foods. Next, 5 things that can weaken your immune system. Number one is stress. Now, another thing that we are really working on is on mind health, on emotional health, and we see so many people these days are inviting more disease when they are taking a lot of stress. Now, this is something which is really not okay, and that really weakens the immune system. Number two is sedentary lifestyle. Sitting is the next smoking. Now, you might say that we're working from home, or there's a lockdown, we can't go out, but at least you can get up after every an hour or 1.5 hours, and you can at least walk for 5-10 minutes or do some stretching. But you can't sit at one particular place. You can't sit at one particular place for more than an hour or two, because that is something which is going to make you very, very inactive. You're going to weaken your metabolism, which is not okay. It really weakens the immune system. Number three is food and nutrition, junk foods. So now we know, now you understand that why packet foods, deep fried and things like that, they are really not okay, because they lack something known as fiber. Okay, and fiber is the key. Fiber is the key in terms of overall immunity and good health. Number four is good sleep. No matter what, we cannot underestimate the importance of good sleep. Okay, and sleep is very, very important. And one of the things that can really weaken the immune system is lack of quality sleep. Okay, very, very important. And no matter what, sleep is something that always have to be better. Okay, and you cannot work efficiently if you have not slept for 2 days properly. So sleep is very, very important. When we sleep, our body makes white blood cells which are very, very good for immunity. Okay, so sleep is very, very important, and our immune system heavily relies on good quality sleep. And last is smoking. I mean, you cannot debate, and there's no debate or no discussion whether smoking is good or bad. We know that smoking damages our heart and our lungs, but now we also know that apart from each and every, there's something known as DNA in each and every cell of our body, and what smoking does is that it damages those DNA which is present in each and every cell of our body. All right. So these five things can really weaken the immune system, or so we should really minimize or avoid these five things. Okay. Next is four pillars of good health. Now, this is one of my favorite slides, and I want all of you to understand this very, very well, because one thing, if that is common in all those people who have reversed their disease and have created good health, if one thing that is common is that all of them have focused on these four pillars of good health. Okay. So, number one is food and nutrition. Number two is physically being active. Number three is good quality sleep. And number four is emotional health. I mean, you cannot make your mind or your brain garbage to a lot of emotions. Emotional health is very, very important, because if you don't take care of that, and no matter how good you are eating, if you don't take care of emotional health, one day or the other, you're going to invite disease. All right. Now, these four things are very, very important: food and nutrition, physically being active, good quality sleep, and emotional health. Now, when you focus on all these four things every single day, once in a while having chocolates or pastries or eating outside is no problem. Okay, is no problem. You should eat out, you should enjoy, but on a day-to-day basis, you need to ensure, okay, you need to ensure that all these four things are in place, which is very, very important. Okay, now we have another PDF which we will be sharing with all of you, where we will be mentioning particular foods that we want you to eat which will boost your immune system. But before we do that, let me do a quick 15 seconds recap on what we have discussed till now. Number one, 85% immunity lies in your gut, and you need your gut bacteria needs fiber as the food, so you should eat more and more plant foods. That was number one. Number two, your food should have more and more colors. So red, yellow, green capsicum, broccoli, purple cabbage, and carrot, and beans, and beet. So more colors you eat, the more nutrient you get. Next is things that can weaken your immune system. Like smoking, sedentary lifestyle, junk foods, lack of good sleep, and stress levels. So these five things can really weaken your immune system. And next we saw that having plant foods to make your system alkaline is very, very important. And last we understood four pillars of good health: food and nutrition, physically being active, good sleep, and emotional health. If all of you remember these five things as concepts, then no matter where you are in the world, you can really, okay, you can really choose better and become better. That is very, very important. Okay. Now let us look at this PDF which we will be sharing with you in terms of which foods that you should eat to boost immunity. So let's proceed. One thing that I really did not like about this entire COVID episode is the amount of stress, fear, and anxiety that people were taking. Okay, now whoever is looking from the your mobile, you can zoom in also a little and have a look at this. Now, so much amount of stress, anxiety, fear, which is everywhere, which is just not going to help, and it is in fact going to invite more disease. Instead, if we can start living with more awareness and right knowledge, we can do a lot of better things. Now, In front of you, there are immunity boosting foods that we want everyone to have a look at. So number one is something known as drumsticks. Okay, quickly, yes or no. So you can just write Y or N. Do you understand what is drumstick? Just Y or N. So it's also known as moringa, and it is very, very easily available in different parts of India and outside as well. So do you guys understand what moringa or drumstick is? Just write Y or N. All right, perfect, great. So, drumstick is one of the super food in terms of immunity. All right, it really helps boost your immune system and very very easily available. In fact, we have a lot of Indian patients who stay in UK and US, and their drumstick as such is not available, but they easily get moringa powder. All right, which they can use. Somebody has written the one that is found in sambar. Absolutely, yes. This is something which is found in your sambar when you eat the South Indian food. So this is available in those sambar. Now drumsticks are super food when it comes to immunity. Okay. Apart from immunity, it is very, very good. Very, very good for blood pressure, very, very good for diabetes, for kidney issues, for joint pains. Drumstick has unlimited amount of calcium. Okay. So drumstick is something that I really want all of you to have in soup form, or you can just boil and have it in whatever way you like. Number two is coconut water and lemon. Now this is very important. See, coconut water always we should have it fresh. Okay, you can't open a coconut, and then have the water after half an hour or 1 hour. Not good. You should always have it fresh. So when you take out coconut water from the coconut, you just put it in one glass and you squeeze half lemon to it. So coconut water and lemon, when you have it together, so vitamin C level goes up 10 times. Vitamin C level goes up 10 times, and that is one of the key ingredient for our immune system. Okay, so just have coconut water. When everybody else are taking vitamin C pills, our patients take coconut water and lemon, and their vitamin C level go up, much more than what a tablet can give you. All right, so very very simple. Either in the morning or in the evening, have it once a day. This really helps boost your vitamin C and immune system. Number three is onion, garlic, and turmeric. Now, these are found in most homes in India, and I have personally read more than 30 research papers, 25 to 30 research papers on how onions can boost our immune system. All right. Apart from onions, we have things like turmeric and which is curcumin, turmeric, and garlic, which are found in most homes. All we need to do is just add them to our food. Number four is pumpkin seeds. I'm sure most of you have heard what pumpkin seeds is, but pumpkin seeds are an excellent source of plant protein, which is very, very good for immunity as well. All you need to do is just get a ready-made packet of pumpkin seeds, have uh, 3 to 4 spoon of pumpkin seeds in a day, and it will really boost your immunity. All right, one thing which I skipped mentioning in terms of coconut water was that only just be careful that only people who have kidney issues, okay, who have high creatinine and kidney issues, they should not have coconut water because of high potassium which is there in coconut water. Otherwise, all of us can have coconut water with lemon, no problem. Pumpkin seeds, you just have to chew and have 3 to 4 spoons, like we are having any soft or a mouth freshener, okay? And 3 to 4 spoon in a day, that can really help, in terms of your immune system. Next is red capsicum. Now, red capsicum is very, very important, okay? In terms of vitamin C level, which is there in orange, 3 times more the vitamin C in orange is found in red capsicum, which is very, very good for immunity. Next, you should focus on holistic health, avoiding stress, doing, pranayam. Pranayam can really make your lungs very, very strong. Doing all of these things can really help. You're practicing gratitude. You should always live in emotions like happiness or love or gratitude, compared to continuously living in hormones of stress, fear, and anxiety. All right. So you need to focus on holistic wellness, which is very, very important. Next, Right eating pattern. So we discussed eating plant foods is very, very important throughout the day. Lunch and dinner are your two main cooked meals is something that we want you to have. Apart from lunch and dinner, you should have more and more plant foods. So for example, as you can see, empty stomach fruits, okay, is something which is very, very good. Remember, fruits only empty stomach. You cannot have fruits after your food or with your food. Fruits is only and only empty stomach. Next is a bowl of salad like cucumber, carrot, red capsicum, beans, beet, uh, uh, a drumstick. A bowl of salad before your lunch and dinner is very, very important. Why do you need to eat the bowl of salad? As we discussed, you need to eat more and more colors. So the more colors you add, it becomes you get more and more nutrients and phytonutrients, which is important. All right. So equally important is to avoid unhealthy foods. So we will be sharing this PDF also with your talent team so that they can pass on to each and every one of you who have attended to this session, and you can just refer to this, and this is really going to help you. Next is, this is something that we all have been hearing in terms of practicing social distancing and avoid doing handshakes, going to crowded places. So I will not take much time on this. This is something that we all have been hearing since last 2 months. We just need to practice this on a regular basis. Now we are going to share with you 10 things, 10 things that you are supposed to do, you can do from tomorrow itself, and which can really, really give you good health and build immunity. All right. Very, very simple 10 things we are going to share with you, but understand this very, very carefully. Okay. Number one is something known as fermented rice, or also known as panta bhat. All right. Panta bhat is also known as fermented rice. Now, this is something which is very, very easy. A lot of us eat rice and dal in lunch or dinner. We eat a lot of rice and dal. And what we want you to do is just take 2 spoon of that cooked rice that we have it with dal. Take 2 spoon of cooked rice, just put it in half glass of water, overnight soaked. Okay, just take 2 spoon of cooked rice, keep that in half glass or three-fourth glass of water in the night, let it be soaked overnight. When you get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, just drink that half glass of water and have that 2 spoon of cooked rice. As simple as that. This is natural probiotic, which is very, very good for your gut health. People who have constipation, gastric issue, acidity issue, colitis issue, anything to do with gut issue, you can instantly get benefit within a week or 10 days. This is a natural probiotic which is very, very good for gut. Next is drumstick. We spoke about drumstick. Apart from immunity, it is very, very good for blood pressure, very good for diabetes, very good for joint pains. Excellent remedy in terms of building immunity. Number three is empty stomach fruits. Now, fruits only empty stomach. Try and have seasonal stuff. Mango is something that you should all have. I give, we give mango to even people who have diabetes and their blood sugar does not go up. You are meant to have seasonal fruits. So papaya, pomegranate, guava, muskmelon, mango, lychee, whatever is available in the season, you should have 2 to 3 fruits, but only empty stomach. So once in the morning, one in the evening time, which is around say 5:30. All right. Next is having jeera water. Now, cumin seeds is known as jeera. Cumin seeds. This is an excellent detox drink. Now, most people, when you go to any nature cure center, now you are offered jeera water. Now, this is amazing in terms. I mean, last 7 years, I've not got a single patient who has not liked or loved jeera water. It is very, very refreshing. It cleans your gut. It helps, it works like magic for people who have gastric acidity issues. So all you just need to put 1 spoon of cumin seeds. You can add ajwain, elaichi, ginger, soft, tulsi, pudina, 3 4 things. Just boil it and strain and have this water. It is an excellent detox drink, very good for losing weight, very good for hormonal balance, for thyroid, and a lot of health issues. Good for cholesterol, good for blood pressure. So jeera water is your next tea. Okay, jeera water is your new tea from today. So our session is going to end in another 5-10 minutes. If anybody wants to have tea, they'll have jeera water and not milk tea or milk coffee. Next Yoga, pranayam. Again, yoga can make you more flexible, can build your immune system. Pranayam can help you with, pranayam can help you with your lungs. Okay, so this is something you should practice morning once or twice. So yes, we will be sharing this PDF with the talent team so that each and every one of you can get this PDF, refer to this, share it with your family members, and all of you should do things which are good for you. Next. Intermittent fasting. Oh, this is wonderful. We all have heard what intermittent fasting is, right? Now let's understand the simple concept. The time you finish your dinner, the time you finish your dinner, after that, you don't eat anything for 12 hours, which means you finish your dinner at 8, morning you start at 8 o'clock. 12 hours, you don't eat anything. Very simple. You're finishing your dinner at 12, morning you start at, you're finishing your dinner at 8 o'clock in the night, morning you start at 8 a.m. Very simple. A lot of people do 13 hours, 14 hours also, which is fine. If you want to do 14 hours intermittent fasting, you finish your dinner around 7:30. Morning you start at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Absolutely okay. You can do 14 hours, no problem. Only water is allowed. You can drink water, but no jeera water, no pantabad, no fruits, nothing is allowed. 12 hours, you just can have water in the night. You should practice, every one of you should do minimum 12 hours intermittent fasting. Why do we need to do this? Why is this important? Same logic that your gut bacteria will either digest food or clean the system. So when you're not eating, you're not digesting, your body is cleaning the system. Each and every organ is clean. You're losing weight, your extra fat is used as energy, your inches are going down. Minimum 12 hours intermittent fasting, all of you should do. This will really, really help you. Next is goodbye goodbye to all addictions. Again, as I told you, we should not be addicted to anything. Another one thing which we find in people with reverse disease, first is that they never do any diets. Diets nobody should do. We should focus on eating good, eating right. Okay. And so another thing they focus is on, we cannot be addicted to anything. A lot of people are addicted to milk tea, black coffee, pan parag, hard drinks, which is not okay. You want to enjoy life, you want to have things once in a while, I don't mind, but do not be addicted. Do not be addicted to anything, that if I don't have milk tea, I have a headache. That is not right. After all, who are we are powerful souls, we are consciousness. We cannot be addicted to anything, right? And this is the time. Now you are with your loved ones, you are with your family members. So try and do things which are good for you. Give yourself challenges. You are addicted to anything, tell yourself that you're not going to have that for 10 days, and then once in a while, I don't mind, but do not be addicted to anything. Next is having seeds regularly. We spoke about pumpkin seeds, right? So there are something known as flex seeds, there's something known as sunflower seeds, chia seeds, tons and tons of nutrient, tons and tons of health benefit. And it is very, very easy for people of your age group to have it. Just keep munching it 2 to 3 times, 4 times in a day, but excellent health benefits. We recommend all of these for different ailments, but you need to understand that these are very, very good. Okay. Next is good sleep. Now sleep is a hormonal issue. Okay. Now people who have not who don't have good sleep, they can do a couple of things that can really help. Number one is jaifal, something known as jaifal, or in English it is known as nutmeg. Okay. Nutmeg is very, very good to help release sleeping hormones. Okay. Another thing is pista. Pista is a dry fruit which is very easily available. Pista also has melatonin, a good amount of melatonin, which is a sleeping hormone, which helps you sleep well. Pumpkin seeds also very, very good for sleep. So all of these things you should do on a regular basis, which can help you get good sleep. And last is meditation. We spoke about the fact that emotional health is very, very good. So at least once or twice in a day, we should spend time with ourselves, 15 minutes, minimum 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and try and do meditation. And very, very scientifically, we help people do meditation. And this can really help you give, good emotional health, and very, very good for overall quality of life. Okay. So these 10 things very quickly, Gargi, if we can just run through. Number one was fermented rice. Number two was drumsticks. Number three was empty stomach fruits. Then was your cumin seeds water. Then was your yoga, pranayam. Regularly you should do. Then is intermittent fasting, minimum 12 hours. All of you should do. Then saying goodbye to all your addictions. having seeds regularly, which is very, very important. Then is good sleep, and then meditation. These 10 things you can do from tomorrow, which can really help, build good health and good immunity, right? Just remember, one thing which I really want all of you to remember is that your health is in your hands. Okay, your health is in your hands, and what we do today is something that is going to benefit us in long run. And don't choose to live with disease. Your health is not at any doctor's chamber, it is in your kitchen. So choose better, become conscious. Okay, become conscious, choose better, and remember, it is habits that will reverse disease or build immunity, and not any diets, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, you know, the entire talent team at Deloitte for getting this organized. It was indeed a pleasure to share a lot of things in front of all of you. We will be sharing this PDF to the talent team at Deloitte, and all of you. Okay, all of you can have a look at this, refer to this, and just remember that you have to become better. And one thing last I would want to conclude before I can take some questions, so the talent team can help me take, I can answer a couple of questions. One thing that I want to just tell to each and every one of you is that stay happy. All right, stay happy, because if you are good, if you are happy, everything will fall in place. Okay, and lifestyle diseases like fatty liver, diabetes, blood pressure, thyroid, cholesterol, kidney problem, all of these are completely reversible. We just need to know the right thing, have the right mindset, and do the right thing. And once we do that, once your inputs are right, output has to become better, right? Thank you so much, everyone, once again for coming. It was a lovely evening to see more than 550, 600 people being here and listening to this. And anybody has any more questions which I may not be able to answer today because of shortage of time, there are contacts in front of you. You can reach out to us, write to us. We and my, I and my team will be very, very happy to help you with right information and guide you or handhold you in whatever way you want. Thank you once again. Over to you, the talent team at Deloitte.
Great. Thank you so much, Karan. It's been one really, really good session. We'll quickly jump into the Q&A because there are a lot of questions that have been posted as you were talking. So I think repeated questions came up on why is coconut water not good for patients, for people who have kidney issues. So could you just throw some light on that? I'm sure you already mentioned about it, the reason that you mentioned. However, if you could just reiterate the same, maybe that will help address the question again.
So this is one reason why people with kidney issues should not have coconut water, is because of high potassium levels which are there in coconut water, right? So whoever has high creatinine or kidney issues, they should stay away from high potassium foods, and coconut water is one of them, which is very high potassium levels.
Okay. Now, the next question that I saw very repeatedly was about the Panta Bhat, and people had questions around can we give it to our kids, or should we keep it outside, or should it be kept in a fridge? So, could you just, just give some light on that one, please?
So keeping that at room temperature is also very, very good, and you can keep it in the refrigerator. Just take out early morning. That is also good, but room temperature should also be fine. Or if you're switching on ACs, then you can keep it in your room also. That should also be fine. But yeah, I mean, this is something which all of us can have. Even kids, I would recommend people. I mean, children who are above 2, 3 years also can have it. No problem. It is something which is very, very good for gut health. Overall quality of health will go up, your gut bacteria will become much better. Small issues like gastric acidity, constipations, which unfortunately people live with, can also disappear when you do 3 4 good things, and one of them is Panta Bhat.
Perfect. Another, repeated topic was on drumsticks. There's this one good question that came up in terms of you mentioned that drumstick. Alternatively, there's a powder available. So, is the powder as effective as a drumstick, or if you have drumstick easily accessible, should one buy the drumstick instead?
Yes, if easily available, one should definitely buy drumsticks as it is, because that has much more benefits than just the powder. Powder drumstick I mentioned because there are few Indians who stay outside India in UK, US, who consult us on a regular basis. So they're getting as it is drumstick is not possible. So we tell them to, look at powder as an option. But in India, we are lucky souls, and we get drumsticks easily here. So we should really focus on having real drumsticks rather than powder.
Great. There's this one question about the seeds, right? You mentioned about a lot of seeds, flax seeds and chia seeds. So there's this one question which is asking about these seeds have to be roasted? Does that help the seeds, or does it really kill the whole benefits of the seeds? So that's one question that came up.
All right, so the best way to have seeds is raw, okay? But in case you want to roast a little, you can roast it at home, but a little. I don't encourage people to buy the roasted seeds, because when we buy roasted seeds, we don't know how much roasting has already happened, right? So buy the best thing is to buy a plain seeds. Try having plain if you can. They also taste good. But in case you don't, you can roast them a little at home, but don't buy the roasted ones.
Okay, is water allowed in intermittent fasting? Do 12 hours of is 12 hours of fasting good enough?
12 hours of fasting is something basic, may not be good enough, but yeah, it is something which is, I'm happy if people do it, and it is a minimum that I really want them to do. And but if you can do 13 and 14, which is all the more better. But yeah, plain water is allowed. No green tea, no cumin seeds water, no jeera pani, nothing of that sort. Plain water is allowed, not an issue.
Okay. Another question is on red capsicum versus green capsicum. Is it okay if people have, green capsicum easily available, something that can be quickly bought across the vegetable vendor, unlike a red capsicum? So, do they set off? I mean, are they equally good?
You can definitely have green capsicum, no doubt about it, and it also has a lot of nutrient value. And in fact, red, yellow, green, all of them have good nutrient value, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. But in terms of immunity, and as far as immunity is concerned, numerous studies have shown that red capsicum scores are much higher compared to green capsicum in terms of immunity is concerned. Okay, but yeah, overall health, you can definitely have green capsicum, no doubt about it. But if I can have all three, I'll be more happy.
Perfect, perfect. Another question is on thyroid. Is there any recommendation, any of these home remedies or tips that you can offer to people who have thyroid issues in terms of hypo or hyper either?
So let me tell you one thing that can really help, especially for people who have hypothyroidism. See, understand, thyroid is a hormonal issue. All right, hormonal issue. So we need to ensure that hormonal balance happens. Okay, so avoid things that can trigger hormonal imbalance. So number one is dairy. Milk product causes a lot of hormonal imbalances. Maida, bread, biscuit, all that triggers hormonal imbalances. So try and minimize or cut down milk, maida, packet foods, deep fried. These things really trigger hormonal imbalances. Okay, apart from that, one thing that you can really do, a couple of things that you can really do. Number one is something known as coriander seeds, okay, which is known as gota dhania. All right, coriander seeds, gota dhania, very very easily available. 2 spoon coriander seeds, 2 spoon coriander seeds. Just keep it in half glass, 1 glass of water, overnight soaked. Morning when you get up, all you need to do is just strain and have that water. Okay, you don't have to boil it, you don't have to do any heating, nothing doing. Just 2 spoon coriander seeds overnight soaked. Whenever you get up in the morning, just strain and have the water first thing in the morning. This is excellent for hormonal balance, particularly issues like thyroid, PCOD, PCOS. Works wonders. Okay, number one. Number two is chia seeds. Chia seeds are excellent in omega 3, good fats, good protein, amazing fiber, very very good for diabetes and thyroid. Okay, just take 1 to 2 teaspoon of chia seeds. 1 to 2 teaspoons of chia seeds, and just soak it in water for 15-20 minutes minimum. Okay, after your fruits or anything, morning, evening, anytime. Just drink that half glass water and gulp those chia seeds down. As simple as that. Wonder for does wonders for thyroid and diabetes. Okay, so they can do these couple of things apart from eating right, eating plant foods, avoiding milk, maida, dairy, deep fried. Okay, and all of you, we give so much tips in terms of ailment wise on our Facebook page of Reverse Factor. So definitely do like that also, so that every day you can get such free tips. Yeah, next question.
Right. Considering while you mentioned that maybe reducing dairy products, so there's another question that's come up: having curd in rice, is it good or we should avoid it considering it has dairy products? So I mean, by dairy do we milk mean only milk or any of the dairy products?
Amazing question. So yeah, so there's this protein known as casein, casein. There's a protein known as casein, casein, which is found in milk products, which is very, very high on inflammation, triggers a lot of disease. Scientifically proven cancer cells grow double fast on sugar and casein. Not a good idea. However, when you make a curd out of that milk, so it is fermented process and a lot of good bacteria which come in the curd, and 85% of that casein goes out. Okay, when you make ghee out of that, 95% casein goes out. So compared to other milk products like milk, cheese, butter, milk tea, coffee, chena, all that, compared to all those milk products, all those milk products compared to that, curd, having curd, mattha, chash, or ghee is much, much better compared to other milk derivatives. Okay, so if you don't have any other issue, having curd is curd and rice absolutely okay, no problem. But if you have if you're someone who's having high diabetes with insulin injections, kidney problem, fatty liver, in that case, I will want for a couple of months you avoid dairy completely. Once you become better, once your medications become better, your reports become better, you feel better, then we can gradually add curd. But apart from otherwise, you can have curd, not a problem.
What's your view on cold press juices?
As far as juices are concerned, I would any day prefer on a day-to-day basis having fruits, because if you have one orange, you get a lot of fiber. So having one orange is better than having juice of five oranges, because when you have orange juice, you don't get those fiber. And we understood now that fiber is super important. Okay, so having fruits is better than having juice. But again, at times, in case you want to have a fresh juice at home, cold press is a good option, you can have it. But never ever have juices which are found in the market in those tetra packs, the real juices and all that. Somebody had asked about cornflakes. That is cornflakes okay, not okay? It is filled with sugar. There is something known as high fructose corn syrup, without which cornflakes is not made. So when you have a bowl of cornflakes at home, that is having 3 to 4 spoon of those bad sugar, which is not okay. All right. So the real Tetra Pak juices, or any Tetra Pak juices, apple juice, lychee juice that you get in the market, that has less of apple and more of sugar. So that is something that we all should avoid. Sacrosanct. There's no argument. We should avoid that. But having fresh juice at home once in a while, absolutely okay, no problem.
Okay, can some inputs on good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and how can one balance between the two and improve on the good cholesterol aspect?
Can you tell me who asked this question?
There's Chirag who was mentioned about cholesterol levels.
Perfect. Chirag, I love you for this question. Okay. I'll tell you why. Okay. 99% people, and this is amazing question, and I want every one of you, there are 500 people here, 450, 500 people, listen to this very, very carefully. Okay. 99% people do not focus. Okay. I mean, 99% people, you have always heard them saying, humko cholesterol kam karna hai. We want to reduce our cholesterol levels. Not many people will tell you that I want to increase my cholesterol level, because they do not focus on something known as HDL, which is the good cholesterol. Everybody focuses on the total cholesterol or the bad cholesterol, but it is the good cholesterol which cleans your artery, which helps those blockages to get reversed. Very, very important is HDL. And when we see reports every single day, people focusing only on total cholesterol, that my total cholesterol is little high, or my total cholesterol is okay, but they do not focus on HDL, which is the good cholesterol. So thank you so much for asking this question, because it is very, very important. And in every patient we ensure we see their HDL, because it is very, very important biomarker. Okay. Now, how do we improve that? Yeah, absolutely. So when you have good fats, so things like nuts and seeds, so almond, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, when you have nuts and seeds, that really increases your HDL to a great extent. Okay, number one. Number two, when you have oils also which are good in omega-3 ratio compared to omega-6, that also really helps increase HDL, like sesame oil and mustard oil and groundnut oil. They're comparatively much better than refined oils. Also, when you are doing when you walk more, when you are walking, your arteries dilate. They become more flexible. It really helps increase good cholesterol. But nuts and seeds are super way, an easy way to increase your HDL, and that is something that we should never ignore. Once a year, we all should keep checking our good cholesterol. That is very, very important.
Perfect. There are a couple of questions about professionals asking for the presentation. I just want to quickly call out something that due to restrictions, we are not allowed to share content. However, for the knowledge of each of you, we have been recording each of the wellness session that has happened over the past 2.5 months. Every session recording is shared with each of you, and you can go back to listen to those recordings. They're all uploaded on Deloitte resources. So tomorrow or day after, as soon as we get the recording of the session, it will get uploaded on DR, and we will share the link with you. The link comes from the wellness ID. So each of you who wants to go back to any part of the entire discussion that happened, or you want to listen to the entire discussion all over again, you can do that. And also for all the previous sessions, you can definitely access it on the same page. So that's just one clarification on the questions coming up. Okay, there's one last question I think we'll take before we wrap up, because we're already on time. So the next question is, how good is it to have turmeric and milk on a regular basis to improve immunity? While we've been having multiple conversations about milk and the benefits and the otherwise, this comes as a good question.
Oh, yes, absolutely. In fact, turmeric is very, very good as we had discussed. However, milk is something that we really don't want to take on a day-to-day basis. So what is the solution? So now, a lot of people who have sleep issues, we give this combination to them who have sleep issues. But otherwise, you can also do this by just removing one ingredient. So what is this? So people who have sleep issues, I mentioned that jaifal or nutmeg is very, very good for sleep. All right. So what we tell them is, so assuming they have your dinner around 8, 8:30, so 10, 10:30, we tell them to have this drink. What is this drink? This drink is 1 glass of almond milk. All right. Almond milk is made out of almonds. Anybody can make almond milk at home within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and this helps so many people, a lot of people. Okay, so 1 glass of almond milk made at home within 5 10 minutes. You add 1/4 teaspoon of haldi, okay, curcumin, turmeric, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, this drink we ask a lot of people to take at night. Almond milk, turmeric, and nutmeg for the sleep issues, and they get amazing result. People who do not have sleep issues, they can just omit nutmeg out of this, because that is one of the main ingredients for sleep. They can have plain almond milk with turmeric at night, and that solves your purpose as well as my purpose.
Okay, okay. There's another good question. How does alcohol affect our immunity system? The addiction on alcohol seems to be increasing day by day. So how are the two correlated?
Ask this question.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yeah, can you tell me who asked this question?
The question is, one second, it's coming from Nikhil.
Nikhil, thank you so much. I also love you for this question. See why? Because this was a good question, because especially for people of who are in the 30s, and right now, I don't have a major issue with people drinking as such. My issue is a couple of things. Number one is when you munch with your drinking, right? When you have those chips and a lot of munching and deep fried things that you keep eating with your drinking, that is a bigger problem. Number one. Number two, we should not have drinks that are high in sugar. For example, beer. Beer is very high in sugar, which is not good. Triggers a lot of disease. Okay, from belly fat to diabetes to fatty liver to cancers, a lot of disease. So anything high in sugar is something we should avoid. Now, everything in moderation is okay. So now, if you have social gatherings once in a month, once in 15 days, having a little bit wine, whiskey, I don't mind in moderation. Just become conscious that you should not keep munching food, unhealthy food with your drink, which is a bigger problem. All right. and balance of everything is okay. If you know that you have a little fatty liver, you should ensure that you're not drinking more than once or twice in a month. If you do not have fatty liver, if you know that you are drinking only socially in your limits, once in 10 days, 15 days, I don't mind. All right. I'm once in a week maximum. Okay. But once in 10, 15 days is good. Again, it is all about habits. I want you to enjoy drinking even when you are in your 60s and 70s. So every day you should remember that once in a while is okay. Not on a regular basis. So once in 15 days, absolutely okay. But definitely not munching and not having those unhealthy foods with drinking, which is going to trigger more and more disease and more problems.
Okay. What one last question? I think there are way too many questions coming up. So one last question, then we'll wrap up the call. What do you recommend for people who follow Jain diet? How do we make up for the nutrients?
That. Can you just repeat that?
Am I audible? Karan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so the question is, what do you recommend for people who follow Jain diet, for people who are Jains and who follow a Jain diet, and how do you make up for the nutrients?
Okay, so look at it like this. Okay, rather let me just little extrapolate this question. So why just Jain diet? There are different groups. Okay, people do keto diet, people do vegan, people do this, people do that. We need to understand one thing. No matter what diets you're doing, be it Jain diet, vegan diet, or this diet or that diet, focus on the nutrient per se. Focus on eating more and more plant foods, which is very very important. Okay, people can be vegan but they can still be eating unhealthy. They can be drinking Coca-Cola's French fries throughout the day and they will say, I am vegan. Okay, I don't eat non-veg. I don't eat. So that doesn't make sense. You need to eat real food. You need to eat plant foods. Okay, and everyone is different, everybody's needs are different. People with different issues, we get so many different people with diabetes, fatty liver, cholesterol, but their treatments are different depending on their needs. Okay, so we just, as a principle, we need to understand that 80-90% we need to be plant foods eater, and once in a while here and there is okay, not a problem. Especially people who are eating plant foods, they need to just remember vitamin B12 and vitamin D3, which are not easily available in plant foods. So we need to keep a check on those levels, and once they are on the low side, we can recommend what is to be done. But otherwise, everything else we get from plant foods, need not worry about our calcium, iron, and vitamin C and all that issues that we definitely get from plant foods. But eating sensibly, eating right, becoming conscious is something that I want each and everyone to take, each and every one of you to take from this session. And trust me, building good health is something that we should be least worried about and should happen as a byproduct of eating right, living right, and choosing better options.
Great, great. Karan, thank you so much for being so patient. We've answered quite a lot of questions. There are still quite a lot of questions coming up. So, for everyone who wants to get connected, the coordinates for Reverse Factor are on your screen. So, you could maybe, connect up with them directly. In case you need our help, you can write into me, that is Sweetie Bantia. You can write to Caroline Jacob, or you can write back to the Wellness mailbox and we will help you get connected. Thank you so much, all the participants, for attending the call, being so active and participative. Please plug in your feedback in the polling section before you log off the call. And once again, thank you so much, Karan, for spending so much of time and having such a great conversation with our professionals. It's been a very, very engaging and very, very informative session. Thank you so much, everyone.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.